their lives. That's what we're talking about. Yes, I realized listening to him that I can't tell you where to get hope, how to grow hope, where to find the source of hope. It doesn't work that way. I think it's like fake it till you make it. You have to do hope, be hope, keep hoping, and eventually you feel the return of that hope. They say this about happiness too, that like one of the best ways to become happier is to pretend you're happy. And the more, like if you smile, that actually like releases endorphins that then make you happier. So if you smile first, happiness follows. If you do hope, that feeling of hope returned comes. Cornel West explains this in an interview he gave about that lecture after the lecture. About being a hope rather than having a hope. It is profoundly Aristotelian. Now, Peter can tell you later what he means by that. He says it's a matter of embodying and enacting a certain kind of virtue, certain kinds of virtues. It's not just a matter of having a discourse, it's a way of life. Now, he says, as a Christian, for me, it's primarily faith, hope, and love. But I take very seriously other traditions as well, secular traditions, religious traditions of the East, and what have you. It's a matter of choosing to be a certain kind of human being before you die. And it has to be in your practice. It has to be in your habits, in your deeds, in your actions. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel is one of the greatest figures for me in my own life, and he always talked about deeds, deeds, deeds. Deeds of kindness, deeds of truth-telling, deeds of witness, bearing for justice, and I take that very seriously. Aha, deeds. Now, in Unitarian Universalism, we talk about our faith being about deeds, not creeds. It's about action, not faith. That's how you find salvation. Salvation isn't given to you because you believe in God. Salvation is given to you because of the work you do. It's kind of daunting, right? Fortunately, we are also universalists who believe that salvation is given to all of us. But deeds, not creeds, means that our faith requires us to act in the world for better. That faith doesn't just tell us believe and you're done. That it's about this action in the world. And that's what hope is about also. So, not Jesus bringing hope to humankind, but us. We are bringing the hope. You are bringing the hope, and that hope is making the world better. So now let me turn, this is the last quote, to a different theologian, no more Cornel West. This is another theologian who I believe draws on Cornel West heavily. This is Barack Obama from his Iowa caucus speech in 2008, but it's theological, you'll see. Years from now, he says, you'll look back and you'll say that this was the moment. This was the place where America remembered what it means to be hope, and what it means to hope. Now, I think he's a little optimistic there, because I don't know that America really did change then, but maybe it did. For many months, we've been teased, even derided for talking about hope. But we always knew that hope is not blind optimism. Aha, not optimism, see? He's like quoting Cornel West right there. It's not ignoring the enormity of the tasks ahead or the roadblocks that stand in our path. It's not sitting on the sidelines or shirking from a fight. Hope is that thing inside us that insists, despite all evidence to the contrary, here's Cornel West again, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and work for it and fight for it. Obama continues, hope is what I saw in the eyes of the young woman in Cedar Rapids who works the night shift after a full day of college and who still can't afford health care for a sister who's ill, a young woman who still believes that this country will give her the chance to live out her dreams. Hope is what I heard in the voice of the New Hampshire woman who told me that she hadn't been able to breathe since her nephew left for Iraq, who still goes to bed each night praying for his safe return. Hope is what led a band of colonists to rise up against an empire. What led the greatest of generations to free a continent and heal a nation. What led young women and young men to sit at lunch counters and brave fire hoses and march through Selma and Montgomery for freedom's cause. Hope is what led me here today with a father from Kenya, a mother from Kansas, and a story that could only happen in the United States of America. Hope is the bedrock of this nation. The belief that our destiny will not be written for us, but by us and by all those men and women who are not content to settle for the world as it is, who have the courage to remake the world as it should be. I'm going to read that last line again. Hope is the belief that our destiny will not be written for us, but by us, by all those men and women who are not content to settle for the world as it is, but who have the courage to remake the world as it should be. Hope is a thing with feathers, you say? No, by God, I say. Hope is a thing with claws that scratches its way to the future. Hope is a thing with a beak that holds on and pulls and drags us into the world as it should be. Hope is a thing with muscle and sinew and bone that pushes and pulls and fights for the world that we can make. Hope is a thing with guts, with will, with strength that wants this world to be a better place. I don't know how you get it. It comes because it comes from within you. And this is the hope of our faith. May it be so.